Hey guys, welcome to my new video series where I'm going to take a look at some of the games that are coming up over the course of the next month that I'm looking forward to. Don't expect this to be a complete list of all the titles that are coming out for every console. What I'm going to do is just cover the ones that I'm more interested in, and hopefully it'll give you guys an idea of some of the maybe more obscure, maybe other games that maybe you didn't know about that are going to be coming up. The first system that I'm going to go ahead and cover is the Nintendo DS. The first title, which I'm semi looking forward to, but I probably won't be picking it up day one. If I do pick it up at all, it'll be down the road. However, some of you may be interested in this one. You may be familiar with the series. If not, let me just go ahead and tell you the title. It's Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 2. Basically what this is it's kind of like a Pokemon type game set in the Monster Quest, or I'm sorry, set in the Dragon Quest series. This game releases on the 19th of September and it's going to retail for $34.99. Now the next game is a game that I will be picking up day one because it's actually a game that is based on my favorite Nintendo mascot, and that is Kirby, and it's Kirby Mass Effect. That game also releases on September 19th. This game is going to retail for $34.99. Now, if you haven't seen anything on this game, I did see something back at E3. I think that's when they originally announced it for the first time. This is a brand new game in the Kirby series, and essentially it plays a lot like, or I guess the best description I can give you is Loco Roco, where you go along, you collect mini Kirby's or a bunch of different Kirby's, and they help you complete the different tasks in the environment and make it through each stage. Looks really good. The graphics are incredible, like almost every other Kirby game that's out there. And last for the Nintendo DS, but definitely not least, is a game called don't don't hate me if I screw up this name, but it's Solatorobo, Red the Hunter. And this game is a game that's being localized by Exceed Games. If you're not familiar with them, they've done a lot of localization. They're one of the bigger companies within the last couple of years to come out and to start localizing a lot of these games that typically we wouldn't see as U.S. gamers. So they're bringing this one over to U.S. and the game looks great. It's kind of a mix between action and RPG. There's different elements in the gameplay that kind of lend itself to both genres. It releases on September 27th, and it will retail for $34.99, so definitely make sure you check that out. Moving on to the 3DS is a couple different games coming out. The first game I'm not going to be picking up right away. However, for those of you out there who have played this series, you may be interested in it, and that's Driver Renegade. That game releases on September 6th for $39.99, the traditional 3DS price point. Next game, I'm definitely going to pick it up. It's a classic Nintendo game, Star Fox 64. Most of you probably already guessed that one. That comes out September 9th, $39.99 once again. Definitely looking forward to this game, especially with the addition of multiplayer, not just local multiplayer, but online multiplayer. It really looks cool. Aside from the fact that it's Star Fox and it's based on probably the best Star Fox that has ever come out, maybe aside from the Super Nintendo version, but definitely looking forward to that one. Next game that's coming out is actually a series of games that's finally coming out on a system. These were all downloadable titles, and most of you probably have already guessed it. Yes, it's bit.trip Saga. If you don't know what bit.trip Saga is, or if you're not familiar with the bit.trip series, then you're probably living under a rock. But this is easily the most well-known title or well-known series on Nintendo Wii's WiiWare lineup. And this includes all 6 of the games. So, for $39.99, or actually, I believe, yeah, for $39.99, it makes it a really, actually a good bargain. So we're actually going to cover the PSP this month, which I can't tell you that it'll probably be covered again, because this might be the last big release for the PSP before Sony just jumps ship all the way to the Vita. The PSP this month, you'll see Shin Megami Tensei, Persona 2 Innocent Sin coming out on this on the PSP. So definitely a big title, and like I said, probably the last big title. I'm a big fan of Atlas games, and definitely a big fan of the SMT series. The game will release for $39.99, and it does come out on September 20th. Let's move right on to the PlayStation 3. And for the PlayStation 3 in September, Resistance 3 is going to launch. Now, you're either going to be on the fence with this one, or you might totally hate the series, or you might be buying it day one. For me, it's up in the air. I'm not really sure if I'll be buying it. Definitely not a day one purchase, though. It does release on September 6th, and the standard price on it is $59.99. They do also, coinciding with this release, is a Doomsday Edition, which essentially doesn't pack in any other gameplay content. What it does include is, much like the SOCOM bundle that Sony released, it includes that gun. I can't think of the name of the gun off the top of my head. Also, the PlayStation Move controllers, the remote, and also the nunchuck controller, and it includes the camera. So for $149.99, if you don't already have all of those extras, it might be a good way for you to get into it. After that comes Disgaea 4, and the subtitle for that is actually A Promise Unforgotten. If you haven't played the Disgaea series, this is a hardcore type of game. I played Persona 1. I pretty much completed that game. I didn't play Persona 2 or 3, so I'm really behind on the series, and because of that, I probably won't pick this up right away. $49.99 is the price on that, and it comes out September 6th. Also on the PlayStation 3, White Knight Chronicles 2 comes out, and it's going to be $59.99, comes out September 13th. Now, the nice thing about this, and I've always wanted to get into the first White Knight Chronicles. I've never picked it up. For whatever reason, I just kind of passed on it. I heard mixed things about it. Some people said it was good. Even fans of the game and fans of this game itself said that, it was one of those games that you may or may not like. Now, the nice thing about this is that it comes packed in with all of the content from the first game, and you get the second game, so like 100 hours of gameplay, over 100 hours of gameplay. Makes it a really good value at $59.99, and it's probably going to be a game that I pick up, and maybe pick up right away, because I've been wanting to play the first game, like I said, and this gives me more reason to play the first game, or to pick this one up. Also for the PlayStation 3, God of War Origins comes out. I'm sorry I didn't write down the date, but it does come out in September, and it's coming out at $39.99. Now, if you're not familiar with this one, God of War Origins packs in the two PSP titles, Ghost of Sparta and also Chains of Olympus, I believe were the two titles. It's been upscaled to play, I believe, it's either 720p or 1080p. It's been upscaled. It also plays in 3D. So for those of you who have a 3D television, which is not me, that'll be another reason maybe to play this. And if you don't have a PSP, if you haven't played the other games in the series, this will be a game worth picking up probably. I honestly will probably pick this up right away, depending on if I can finish up God of War 2. Yeah, I'm that far behind in the series, but I do love the games. I do love God of War, and it's nice also that instead of having to worry about not having the second analog stick, now you can play it with both analog sticks. So $39.99 is going to be the price on it. Sorry, I don't know the date off the top of my head. And the last game that I wrote down was Atelier Totori, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and that's The Adventure of Arland. I remember Atelier Roroni that came out about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I can't tell you much about this game. This is a game coming out from NIS, and so if you like their interesting niche type of RPG games, this is probably one for you. This is exclusive to the PlayStation 3. Comes out September 27th, and it comes out at $49.99. Moving on to the Wii, there's only one game that I wrote down that was really noteworthy this month for the Wii, and that's the bit.trip Complete, which basically has a lot of the same things, or most of the same stuff as bit.trip Saga, which is coming out on the 3DS, except for this looks like it has a little bit more content added to it. It comes out at $39.99, so the same price as the 3DS version, and it comes out on September 13th. I'm probably going to have to choose between one or the other, and I'll probably go with the 3DS version because I need more games on my 3DS. But if not, I'd probably pick up both of them because I really like the bit.trip games, and I've always wanted them on a physical copy. last but not least, moving on to the Xbox 360. And the first game that I wrote down that really I just found out about it recently is Rise of Nightmares. And that's being produced by Sega. It comes out on the 6th of September. And the interesting thing about this game is it is a Kinect game. And basically it's a first-person type of game where you are using the motions of your body parts to fight off, it looks like monsters or zombies or something along those lines. Check out some videos for it. It looks kind of interesting. For $50, it may be worth picking up, and also add to the fact that there's not a whole lot that's been put out for the Kinect that's been decent. If this game starts getting good reviews, I'll probably then pick it up, but I'm going to wait and see on this one. Gunstringer is the next one that I wrote down, and that's coming out at 40 bucks. Now, Gunstringer, if you're not familiar with this one, this was originally supposed to be a Kinect title that was released on Xbox Live Arcade. But I guess after they added, more and more and more content to it, they realized, hey, look, let's put this out on a physical copy, and we can make $40 off it rather than charging $15. And we have enough content on this in this game to make it a full retail release. Essentially, what you're doing is you're playing as a puppeteer, and you're using, I guess, hand motions, almost as if you're using a marionette puppet to control the character on screen. And it looks like kind of like an action slash shooting type of game. I haven't seen a lot of gameplay footage of it, admittedly, but it's one of those games that it looks like, and from what I've heard, it's going to be definitely a worthy title on the Kinect. And as I said, not having a lot of Kinect games out there that are really good may be worth just picking it up because of that. At $40, I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to pick it up right away, only because I'm not sure how much content's really going to be on there. Like I said, this was originally going to be a downloadable title. Well, since it's now a full feature, full-blown release, we'll see. May pick it up right away, may wait. It all depends on, what my budget's looking like. The big title coming out for the 360 this month is Gears of War 3. Really doesn't need a lot of explanation. $59.99. It does come out on, I believe, the 20th. I didn't write down the date on that one either. But the last title that I wrote down, which is probably my most anticipated game because I love shmups. And if you're a fan of shmups, you probably already know what it is. Coming out on the Xbox 360, and that's Otomedius Excellent. This game is done by Konami. Obviously, they're well known for the Gradius series. And this is kind of similar in style, a little bit different in terms of the actual content of the game, I would say. And the cool thing about this game is it releases as a collector's edition. It looks like the first run is going to be a collector's edition, and it's going to release at $49.99. So you're not paying 80 bucks for a collector's edition. It does include about a 64 page art book, and also a soundtrack. And it might have some extra stuff in there, but as far as I know, that's what it does include. And at 50 bucks, I'll definitely be picking this up because my collection of shmups is not big enough. Never probably will be, because I just love that genre of video games. If you're not familiar with what a shmup is, it's a shoot 'em up shooter. Like I said, think Gradius. And last but not least, let's look at the multi-platform games. Multi-platform, the only thing that I wrote down was Dead Island. And Dead Island looks interesting, but it's from, I think, a smaller developer, so it's one of those things you can't really be sure of. Basically, what it is you're playing as a survivor on an island, basically a resort island, and the island's been infested by zombies. So that right there in and of itself, if you love zombies, it might be a game that you want to pick up right away. Looks like it has 4-player co-op, and sounds kind of interesting, but it's one of those titles I'm going to wait and see. And honestly, it's not something I have to have right away. If it starts getting great reviews, I'll probably go pick it up. If not, I'll wait. That's it for now. That concludes everything for the month of September that I'm looking forward to. You guys can let me know either in a video response or in comments what you're looking forward to. And if you guys like this video series, if you want to see more of this in the upcoming months, let me know. I'll be putting these out at the end of each month, and until I hear that you guys hate it, I'll just continue to put it out. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon.